Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming today. This is Healing Intuitive, and I'm going to read the oracle cards for today, which is March 17th, 2017. That was a mouthful. Anyways, this is for the whole weekend reading, and today is St. Patrick's Day. So happy St. Patty's Day. Hope you're all getting to celebrate this today in some way. Maybe wear some green, drink some green beer, be out in the forest with some green trees. So I'm going to start with the reading, and I've already shuffled and did my meditation and asking for Spirit to guide me in this messages. So these are the healing messages for the weekend. So our first card is the Sage. Now I'll just grab that and show you a close up of that. So this is kind of where we're at. Hopefully you can see that pretty well. It's probably a little bit crooked, sorry. So yeah, there's the Sage. So the Sage is all about wisdom and hidden knowledge, retreat, old age, patience. Sage is also the shaman. Not all wise men are shamans, and not all shamans are wise men, but this one is both. Power informed by wisdom, and wisdom made manifest by power. I'm just going to lay this back down. Hopefully you can see it well there. This is also the face of Father Time, and we see the colors of the seasons surrounding him. Sometimes he is Old Man of the Mountain, the hermit who searches within for wisdom and understanding, and then is willing to share it with any true seeker who comes to him. His blind eye enables him to look into other worlds, other realms, and the wisdom buried deeply within each of us, where the singers dwell. The sage has reached a stage of life where he has let go of many of the activities of younger beings, retreated somewhat from the outer world of fairy, and has become more deeply immersed in the inner landscapes of knowledge, inner vision, contemplation, and spirit. On the exterior, he lives simply, almost austerely, but his inner world is filled to overflowing with richness. In order to pursue his studies more thoroughly, the sage has cultivated detachment. Some may see this as remoteness or coldness, but he is no less loving for that. The sage finds the inner connections between everything. He sees the connections, relationships, and consequences between seemingly separate ideas, beings, and things. Love and compassion are the inevitable consequences of seeing truly, and this leads the sage to share his learning with others. Like any other wise elder, he leads by gently touching from his vast shore of wisdom. When asked for his judgment about something, he is discriminating and generous-hearted. He turns a blind eye to punishment, feeling that what is needed is mercy and a way of teaching those who err so they will not make the same mistakes again. The sage is constantly learning. While on the one hand he values tradition and stability, He also understands and values the need for growth and change. He can't go for a walk or a flight around the neighborhood without discovering something new and trying to see how it fits into the whole. He is always expanding his understanding of reality and deepening his awareness. As we develop patience and compassion intertwined, we begin to manifest the wisdom of the sage. So this card is in upright position today. So here we see wisdom and deep inner understanding. One of the keys of wisdom is to organize, integrate, and simplify one's thoughts. Complexity often leads to confusion. Simplicity is to be valued. This card signifies mental discipline informed by balanced learning and compassion. Tradition is valued, but appropriate change is accepted. The sage knows when to let go and when to move on. He knows when to retreat and when to think things over. He compassionately and wisely shares his knowledge with others, teaching by example as well as by precept. The scales of justice are balanced in the sage's hands. This card is a reading. This card in a reading also signifies a need for deep consideration and refined judgment applied with compassion and mercy. So maybe there's something that you need to think about more deeply before moving forward and contemplate and, be compassionate and wise with others when you're teaching them something. So there's a few mixed ideas here. So maybe some of these apply to you. So I'm going to show you the next card here a little close up. So the next card is the Dark Lady, and as you can see, it's in reverse position. But I'm going to just turn it face up so you can have a better look at what it looks like. So there we go. So that's the Dark Lady. There's a lot of purple in there. We've got the moon, partial moon, around the third eye chakra, and then the lady below with the wings, the Dark Lady. She's got also some light coming from her crown, and some purple skirt and some wings. There's a lot of purple in this card, so I would suggest maybe doing some chakra clearing or chakra meditation, maybe a third eye meditation or a third eye clearing. And I suggest that because it's in the reverse position. So I'm just going to lay it back down for now and just tell you a little bit more about this card. So this card is about unconscious power and wisdom, rituals, mysteries, and secrets. I love those. The Dark Lady is the high priestess of the mysteries. She understands how to surrender to divine power. She has profound, intuitive knowledge that is only to be found by looking deeply into our own beings and natures. We find her through meditation, in sleep, and within inner peace, ecstasy, and total despair. She is the guardian of beings unborn, of unconscious ideas, and of seeds sprouting in the dark, cold earth, tender and fragile, and as yet unready to face the bright sun and the winds of spring. She holds the embryonic hopes we have not yet realized we have. The Dark Lady is a mistress of spiritual ritual. The purpose of a ritual is not the power it allegedly has over gods or spirits or fairies, but the very real power it may have over us, putting us into a state of consciousness where we may better connect to our own magic and to otherworldly beings. The Dark Lady understands that ritual is something we surrender to and we allow to enfold us rather than something we do or control. So because this is in reverse position today, I'm going to kind of reverse that a little bit, the meaning for you. So there's a few factors here. So in reverse position, this means when we block the Dark Lady, we may be frenetically active, occupying ourselves with the outer world and ignoring the call of the world within. We may be resisting profound change and renewal. In order to keep our feelings repressed and hidden from ourselves, we may become aloof, cold, and inaccessible, holding back from others as a way of holding back from ourselves. When we twist her living process within us, we may experience sexual blocks or frigidity or impotence or some other form of disability in making connection with others and with the source of being. At worst, we use the magic of the inner realms for the purposes of destruction or manipulation, becoming black magicians. I don't think any of you are doing that, are you? Uh-oh. If we choose to do this, which is the closest thing the fairies know to an unforgivable sin, we may harm others, and we shall certainly do very serious, dangerous damage to ourselves. So basically, we need to put some attention on ourselves on the inside instead of the world outside of us, and allow change and renewal to occur. And we might want to try and be open, more open with ourselves and our truths, so that we can understand our present feelings instead of hiding them from ourselves or holding them back from others. And as well, to get those, if you're feeling blocked sexually in any way, things aren't flowing smoothly, maybe, you could, start connecting that way with yourself, and in order to be able to connect with others. So I guess it's just like self-love, loving yourself. Love yourself first so that you can love others and others will love you. So that is the Dark Lady in reverse. So the next card we have is, I think that's the Birth. Let's see here, I'm just going to grab this. This is the Bright Mother. There we go. So this is a Bright Mother. So this card is in reverse today, but I'm just showing you it upright because it's a beautiful card. It's got this woman with flowers in her hair. She's holding a crystal with a little baby fairy on top with wings. And then below her to the left is a very voluptuous woman. She looks like she's a true goddess of fertility. And we have a couple little elves down there, and we have the moon and more flowers. There's so many things going on in this photo. I can't even see them all. It takes a little while to get the full depth of it all. So I'm just going to lay this back down with the bright mother. And I'll talk a little bit more about the bright mother. So I'll just talk about, what the meaning of this card is in the upright position, and then I'll talk about it in the reverse position, which is the message that I'll be giving you. So the bright mother, when it's in the upright position, is about creativity, nurturing, productivity, intimacy, and sheltering. She is the bright mother of us all and knows that life, all of life, is a miracle. The bright mother is constantly amazed at its perfection and imperfection. She rejoices in its being, sorrows for its growing pains, and exults in its successes. This great lady is both Earth Mother and the full, bright moon, pregnant with the future of all growing things. She feeds us and provides us with air, water, and shelter in an amazing, complex world. She sees to it that we are challenged enough to grow, but not so much to be overwhelmed. If we want more challenges than she provides, we have to give them to ourselves. So I'm going to just let you know a little bit more about this card in the reverse position, which is the position it's in today. So this card applies to men as well as women. And they can also apply to institutions such as churches, governments, businesses, charities, and social groups. So when I just read about more of the meaning of this card, also applies to these types of businesses as well. So when we are blocking the bright mother's energy in our lives, we have difficulty giving or receiving nurturing. This may manifest itself physically as well as emotionally. It could mean physical problems such as digestive or eating disorders, or emotional difficulties with giving care or receiving care from others. Anybody out there having some issues with your stomach or emotional difficulties giving or receiving care? We might also be unclear about our emotional boundaries. Sounds like in order to be able to give or receive nurturing or care or receiving care from others, we must remember the sage and know that we have the wisdom. We just have to take our time, contemplate, have patience in the situation, and also too, remember to try and sit with ourselves a little bit so that we can remember the world within us, and just to allow change and renewal, and try and be open to others and ourselves so that we can feel any repressed or hidden memories and be open in other ways and love ourselves physically and emotionally so that we can connect better with others on all levels. So yes, so we have all of those. So once we focus on these things for ourselves and in our healing, we will be able to have more ability ease in giving and receiving nurturing. And this will be better for our health, could unblock whatever's going on in our bodies, such as those eating or digestive issues, problems in your stomach, and giving care or receiving care from others. And those will make our emotional boundaries much more clear. And the last thing about the last card in reverse, when her energy is twisted, we see the smother mother who refuses to let those within her care grow up and become independent, which can cripple them in their adult life. Or perhaps the warped energy becomes the martyr mother who sacrifices everything for you, whether you want it or not, and then expects you to sacrifice everything for her forever. If you find yourselves in tendencies to do these things, we need to change both our habits and our deep programming, which may require professional help. If these things are going on, you'll know if you're a parent or you see that this tendency comes out in you. Then just take a good deep look at it and see if you could use some new tools to deal with these situations in a different way. And it's not that you don't care, it's just our old habits. And at worst, but probably not happening, the bright mother's energy becomes a fire of destruction, creating burnout where there should be nurturing. This happens when we give until we are exhausted and don't take time to nurture ourselves or allow others to do so. Rage or cruelty directed at those who rightfully depend upon us also falls into this extreme category. Well, I gotta say for myself, when I was on my own raising my son, I got pretty tired sometimes. And I could totally relate to this. And sometimes it's really hard to be able to take that break when you can't, or when you're on your own and you just get so exhausted. So yeah, if you have that going on, you don't even have to be a parent. You can just, be living life and have to deal with this kind of thing. So just remember the first couple cards, just to, you have the wisdom. It's all there inside you. And just take your time, have patience, allow it to come, allow change to occur. Just open yourselves up, just talk about things, get that flow going again. And this will help you reconnect to others around you. And this will help everything open up again, and the bright mother's energy allow you more creativity again, nurturing. You'll be more productive. There'll be more intimacy. So there you have it. That is this weekend's reading. I hope that you got some messages out of that for the weekend. And if you have any questions, please post them below. If you would like a longer or shorter video or anything else that you want to comment about or have questions about, please leave the comments for me so I know you're out there. And give me a like or I'm not going to ask for a dislike. Yeah, and I will be doing the weekly readings as well. So that'll be for this coming week, which is the 20th of March, the week of the 20th of March. So I'll be doing that shortly as well. So you're welcome to take a look for that for my next post. So thank you for coming. You're welcome to go to my website, which is healingintuitive.com. On there, I've got various things. I've got daily healing messages that I post if you want to keep up with that. I also I have a little blog there, and I write about health related issues and tips and a few different things that aren't on YouTube. And I'm also on Twitter at Healing Intuitive, and that's a fun little thing sometimes to play with. So, what else can I tell you? I guess I'll just say have a lovely weekend. Happy St. Patty's Day weekend. And I hope that we'll see you again in the next video. Namaste.